It's that time of year, everybody. It's beginning to look a lot like renewal time. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the Banking Bros Podcast. I'm J-Du.
And I'm Jonah.
We're talking through that time of the year. At the end of the year, companies get into their new fiscal season. And in the insurance world, companies do the same, and they send out a few pieces of paper to everybody. So it's not just the renewal of the policyholders, it's the anniversary of the company's financials and their records and extra pieces of mail that you're going to get. So let's talk a little bit about that, Jonah. I didn't really think companies celebrated these great holidays, but in the insurance world, there's some specifics that I think are interesting and people want to know about.
Well, most companies are going to have a fiscal year, right? A lot of times those aren't going to line up with a calendar year. For mutual holding companies, at the end of the fiscal year is where it can get a little bit fun because they have like annual meetings and stuff that you can go to. Legitimately, as policy owners, you are a part owner of the company. And so from these different policies that you might obtain doing the infinite banking concept, you'll get invited to the meetings. I don't actually know anyone who goes.
Right.
But you can if you wanted to.
And sometimes they are virtual meetings, right? So they're virtual meetings and you can phone a friend in, right?
You can vote
and
by proxy.
You can vote, right? So Jonah, help us to understand for the viewer out there on our YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody, or our podcast platforms. What is a mutual company and what are the other types of companies? Not every insurance company is mutual. So like give us the comparison. What's going on?
Yeah, so we are really big proponents of the infinite banking concept. And to do the infinite banking concept well, we recommend that you use a mutually owned insurance company. The opposition to a mutually owned insurance company, the only other choice you have out there is a stock-owned insurance company. So a very generic, simple way to understand the difference is stock-owned companies have stockholders. Mutually owned companies do not. Mutually owned companies are owned by the policyholders. So a policyholder for a mutually owned company would be anyone with a policy. A stockholder for a stock company would be people who have purchased stock of that company.
Right. So a typical kind of corporation setup over there on the stock side. There's also in the mutual categories, also fraternal companies. So fraternal companies run and operate a lot like mutual companies as well. So just in case you happen to work with one of those, just throw it in the mutual bucket for the purposes of this educational podcast.
Yeah, so the thing that makes them very unique and different is a lot of times stock companies are going to do things for the betterment of the shareholder, of the stockholder, right? The whole point and purpose of the company is to make money for the stockholders. And so they not manipulate, that's not the right word, but they choose different paths. They choose options. They perform their tasks. They do all sorts of things for the benefit of the stockholders.
Yeah, companies exist to make money.
Right.
And now the question is, who are they trying to make money for? Who are they trying to please? And so we're going to utilize mutual companies for the specific fact, or mutual holding companies. Most companies are actually mutual holding companies to get a little more technical. But the point is, at the end of the year, they're trying to bring profits to mutually benefit those members. And of course, the members, who gets to be a member?
Yeah, from the mutual company? Yeah. Anyone who owns a policy.
People who own policies from them get to participate. So that's why all these words, if you've done a little bit of homework out there, holding mutual companies, stock companies, participation, dividends, that's what we're here to talk about. So at the end of the year or the beginning of the next year, companies will send out some letters. They'll let you vote on things. They'll say, here's the meeting. What's your opinion about this? Now, most people don't participate all that much. Maybe that's the detriment of keeping those mutual companies around, because if the powerful people out there, the evil ones, use their forces for non-good tactics for those members, what happens is they end up raising money in the stock world, and then they can scale. But now the stockholders and those shareholders get all the votes. So we want to help you guys understand that. A lot of people, Jonah, when we're talking to them, especially at the beginning of their journey, looking at code cracking cash flow for them and their families, they think they're going to figure all of this out by going to the website. And I constantly tell people you got no chance figuring it out on the website. What are we going to see on the websites for these companies?
Yeah. So the crazy thing is, I actually pulled up a few of the websites because there are some things that you can figure out on the websites of these companies, which I think is kind of fun.
Okay.
But if you're trying to discover the infinite banking concept, the key word in that phrase is concept. That you probably won't figure it out from the, it's not probably, you're not going to figure it out from
That's
the
what
websites,
I'm saying. Yeah,
right?
you ain't going to figure it out.
But there are some fun things that happen on the websites. And this episode, we're actually going to dive into another fun thing that we got from one of the companies because it's the end of the fiscal year for them. And so they send out surveys. Right? They send out surveys and they ask questions, very generic survey. They don't actually, I don't think when they send the survey, they're paying attention to what type of insurance you bought from these companies because they sell all sorts of types of insurance, right? But they are asking generic questions about who you're working with and your financial person who was helping you for financial professional and what did they say and what do you know, and we just taken a survey, send it back to us type idea. So we've got one of those surveys for this episode here today, and that's what we want to walk through. But if you go to some of these websites, and I pulled up 4 different websites from very popular, reputable insurance companies.
Very large.
And it's actually so funny. The reason I pulled them up originally is because you can find out, a lot of people when they hear about infinite banking or cash value life insurance, they don't think it's a thing. How does that work? How do the insurance companies do that? How would they make any money? Why would they offer that? But yet it's right here on the front page of most of these websites. And that's the reason, one of the reasons I pulled them up, because you will at least get the base knowledge that whole life insurance that produces cash value is absolutely a thing from these websites.
And it's always been a thing. That's what they
figure
started
out
with.
in 2 clicks, generically from these websites. So I had a few websites pulled up if we wanted to take a look at it.
The interesting part that I was trying to allude to is how often people think, they're going to figure out infinite banking concept. You're not going to figure that out, but you are going to see things about life insurance. There's different types. There are guarantees for your whole life, as we've already mentioned. There is term insurance, which everybody's more familiar with. It seems out there. There is universal life insurance, but generally what you're going to see when you go, I'm going to be a visual guy. I'm not going to read everything, and I'm going to see a bunch of multicultural families. I'm going to see a bunch of old people looking at their kids through wheatgrass and not having allergies. It's just like a Claritin commercial. That's what you're going to see when you look through all these type of people, no matter who you are. You can be fat, skinny, old, young, gay, straight, whatever you want to be out there will protect your livelihood. That's what they're trying to say generally. You're not going to see nuances of products. That's why in the commercials on TV, they put agents, because agents are supposed to be those financial professionals that help you through that process. But Jonah, let's dive in. You've got Northwestern Mutual here on the screen.
I do.
Everybody knows them.
So I was thinking, how many clicks do you think it'll take for us to figure out that cash value is a guaranteed, it builds inside a whole life? How many clicks
will it take
from the main page of Northwestern Mutual's website?
I'm gonna go with 3, just like the
3
Tootsie
clicks.
Roll.
All right, so we got to Northwestern's commercial to website. We're gonna click on. Oh, this is a hover. This doesn't count as a click. This is a hover. All right, so I need 1 click for whole life insurance. Now that we're on the whole life insurance page, I'm gonna.
So that's 1 click so far.
We're on 1 click. I'm gonna scroll down just a little bit. One click for Northwestern Mutual right here. Whole life insurance policy highlights. It accumulates cash value. Your policy accumulates a pool of money, aka cash value, over time. You can use it for anything you need: unexpected expenses, college tuitions, or as income when you retire.
That right there changes lives. It's right there.
1 click.
This company is older than every company that you are thinking of that you can name right now. It is older, except Nintendo. Nintendo apparently is like 150 years old. And so it's about the same age as Northwestern Mutual. Every other company, maybe GE, something like that. It's right here, ladies and gentlemen. But I like the other 2. Jonah, let's put it back on the screen.
Okay.
The other 2 things right next to it are very important. I always talk about the 4 guarantees inside the premium cup. When we're talking through our 3-cup setup, guarantee number 1, your money cannot go down or backward. Okay, that's the one I don't see here. Guarantee 2, payout. We see that on the left. There's a death benefit. That's guarantee number 2. Guarantee number 3, cash values. Right here on the right-hand side. Guarantee 4, cost doesn't change.
There you go.
Boom. It's right there on the site, people, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Jonah, help us understand. Well, let's go to another one. Let's go to another site right here. You got it up.
Yeah, so let's try another very reputable company. Let's try New York Life. You heard of them?
Okay, of course. So I had my
Life.
very first life insurance policy, a term policy that I bought, from my buddy out of college.
Yep.
Everybody has a buddy who goes straight into sales
Yep.
at Northwestern, New York Life, Mass Mutual.
Yep.
I bought a term policy from these guys,
I love it.
of course.
All right, we're on the New York Life homepage. Give us a guess. How many clicks before we can figure out that whole life insurance has guaranteed cash values that you can access, you can use? How many clicks?
Well, how many
It was only
clicks does it
one
take
for Northwestern Mutual.
to get to the center of the cash value Tootsie Pop?
I don't know if they have any hovers on this one, so
I'm going to go with no hover, so I'm going to go with 3 clicks again.
3 clicks again. Okay. So we're looking for what we offer. We got to click on what we offer. So there's our first click. We
Okay.
want insurance. 2 clicks for insurance. And we
Let's
got whole
assume
life
whole,
insurance.
right?
Hold on. Well, do I need to click it? Let's see what it reads. Whole life insurance, permanent policies with a guaranteed death benefit and guaranteed cash value that grows over time.
2 clicks, ladies and
Two
gentlemen.
clicks before we figure it out on this website. That,
Guaranteed.
Everything that we've been saying on our podcast, episode after episode after episode, is literally listed on these insurance companies' site. Now, if I clicked into it, I don't have to click into it. I mean, we're at 2 clicks and it's right there on the
Go
screen.
ahead and click.
But
Give
if I
us a
click
click.
into it, I'm sure it'll give us some more detail.
More than one
on
sentence.
that. Let's see.
Hold on. Read the title.
Permanent protection that helps build wealth.
So what does that mean to you without reading into it? Permanent protection that helps build wealth. Is that what you thought life insurance was 10 years ago?
No.
What did you think life insurance was?
Protection. In the end of it.
So we got permanent protection, but that helps build wealth.
And again, from what I knew 10 years ago, protection, and you buy the temporary protection. That's what you do.
Yep,
That's
this
life
is
insurance
permanent
to me.
protection. Okay, you are going to buy temporary. Why was temporary important to you 10 years ago?
That's what everyone said to get. Just get the temporary. It's cheaper. That's what they said. Just
Okay.
get the temporary one. Rent it out. It's cheap, a little cheaper for you.
All right.
That's what I know. But anyway, we're at 2 clicks before we figured it out. I wanted to see if it told us some more things. Just right here on the homepage, permanent protection that helps build wealth. If you're looking for lifelong coverage, whole life insurance is a versatile option. It grows with you, building cash value.
Hold on. It grows with you.
It does.
I never would have thought that 10 years ago.
It grows with you, building cash value that you can use to help fund the big things in life.
It's right there.
It's on the it. We're at 2. These are kind of
But
like
you guys also see why you have to look into this stuff. If you're looking at the picture, it's baby girl feeding her dad
a strawberry.
a strawberry. See,
some orange juice.
yeah, that is every website.
So here's the crazy part. This is, I mean, I'd call it like 2. These are kind of filler. I mean, we haven't even got to the meat really yet. Right? These are kind of filler paragraphs that they put on there. These are the ones that are like, no, let me just we'll give them the 2 sentence and then we'll tell them about it later.
Right.
And both times in the 2 sentence, it's like, no, there's cash that grows.
Hold on.
The whole
hold
time.
on.
You can use the cash.
Put it back up again. Put it up again, sir. Look at this clickable spot here at the bottom.
like
What
that.
does that say?
Connect with an agent.
Connect with an agent for all of the folks out there trying to kill me on Instagram and TikTok. You have to go to an agent. It says it right there. Okay.
It does.
So, Jonah, as we go to check out another one, let's look through the clicks. We already know that's what we're going to do. While you're looking through the clicks, we'll put it on the screen for you, for those of you who can see us visually. Why do people misunderstand this? Why have they not been told this? Why is the government against it? What is it that everyone? How would you answer that question?
Yeah, there's
it's
a
right there.
super big misconception.
These are 180-year-old companies.
Popular, really, really popular people in the social media world that we live in now, in the information age that we live in now. There's just a few popular people who have preached this message of buy the cheaper one. It's better for you.
Now, okay, we all know that. Give me another reason. Because prior to the information age, when there was not a bunch of talk shows, radio shows,
Yep.
Why did people lose out on this? Talk about this at your
Well,
job. They didn't mention this at your job either.
No, the government came in and started offering tax breaks and subsidies and all sorts of other stuff for the government-sponsored plans that they made up in the last few years, right? We've talked about that on a few different podcast episodes. The 401k and the IRA, these things are not old. These things are 1980, 1970, 1960. And so when the government makes something up and then they want to promote it and get people to use it, they started offering tax breaks to the big corporations to do so. So then if you go to work for GE, one of these companies that you named earlier, if you're going to work for BMW, for a car company, for Michelin, for a tire company,
Right.
for Apple, they're going to use they get a tax break if they promote this thing.
Right.
So they promote this thing, and then you're just working there, and so all you're thinking is, well, I should use that thing because my job promotes it, and Apple is the biggest, and Google's the biggest, and Amazon's the biggest, and they promote it, so I should use it.
So that therefore equates to the life insurance sales professional automatically is evil and from the devil.
I
somehow.
guess so. Somehow. Over time, it builds into that, but
Look at that.
that's what it is. All right, we're on Mass Mutual's website here now. Another big one. Heard of them, right?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. I've got a lady who very interested in Mass Mutual for her policy for infinite banking because she'd heard of them. They've been around a long time. That's basically it. But it's all good. How many clicks? How many clicks do you think before we figure out that
I'm still holding strong with 3.
3 clicks? All right, let's see what we got. So we'll hover over. We got a click insurance. That's 1 click.
Whole life is right here.
Whole life. We got a click.
see
That's
what's there.
2 clicks.
It's going to be 2.
It's probably going to be 2. Here we
There
go.
it
We
is,
got a
folks.
cash value bubble box thing that popped up, and it's covering up stuff. That's weird. Mass Mutual. Cash value, money that grows in your policy that you can access while you're still alive.
Bingo. Done.
That seems. Why is this box just popping up?
That's because you're using Safari.
No, that's their website. Anyway, isn't that crazy? Right behind the box, maybe it's the 1. Can I click on it? Nothing's really happening. But right behind it, it says you build guaranteed cash value. And then I guess this is the explanation box.
So reminder to all of you who are out there, cash value is the equity in your policy, can be borrowed against. There's no credit check. There is no public announcement around that because cash value is equity. That means it's the part that is paid off, paid up, paid for, Jonah says bought, of the contract they owe you.
Yep.
So there is no government involvement here. This is a private contract between you and a life insurance company, and that's how much equity is in there. You can leverage it from any company, ladies and gentlemen, anytime you want. We're going to teach you how to use that really effectively for your banking needs. So we do have to introduce you to that idea once we get into infinite banking concept explanation.
Yep.
Yes, you can borrow against the policy. There are other types of policies you can borrow against as well, any type that has equity in it. So that's going to include universal. There are reasons we do not utilize universal for the specific infinite banking concept because everybody needs to use money and you want it to be guaranteed to be there and growing, which all 3 of those websites say. We're right there with 2
I saved the
clicks.
best for last.
All right.
One of our favorite companies where we tend to help a lot of people get started with the infinite banking process, where we have the majority of our personally owned policies. And I've got their website pulled up right on the homepage. So the guess again is how many clicks?
I'm going to go with 3.
3 clicks. All
All
right.
right. Killing me with this.
So right
2-click
up top,
stuff.
we got individuals, employers, financial professionals. Let's do individuals. So this is a hover, no click. This is a hover.
Okay.
Hover down to life insurance products. So we've got 1 click. We've got whole life insurance right in the middle. So, well, maybe just 1 click. Whole life helps you confidently plan for your future need by providing a guaranteed lifelong protection and cash value growth.
Keep reading. Keep reading.
Okay. You use your policy to leave a legacy or a variety of other uses, depending on your situation and your need. Additionally, you can earn dividends that enhance your policy's performance or lower your premiums.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's right there for you.
1 click. And the reason I saved this company for last is because this is the company that sent us the letter, actually, that,
We got
that asked for
one.
a survey and that wanted us to kind of go through it.
Okay, so we're
we
looking
were
at
going
this. This is labeled or dated last year this time. So we are in the 2nd week of November as we record this. This was last year's letter. I already had one, so I thought I'd bring it up. And what we've got here is a Dear Valued Customer, Presidential and Chief Executive Officer letter that helps everybody know you are a valued customer and member of our group here at the mutually owned life insurance company. And as we scroll down and flip over, what we're going to notice here is our survey set of questions. We wanted to highlight a couple of those for you on the screen to help you understand that what we're teaching and preaching about code cracking cash flow is very obvious to the life insurance company. And because you didn't know about it doesn't mean it's not there or true. It is a very strong, solid financial foundation for every family out there who wants to release themselves from the bounds of only what they told you at work, only what the government says, only what your neighbor's going to make fun of you for, because it's right here. So, Jonah, let's get into some of those. Let's highlight a couple of things that they ask us.
Let's do it. Question number 1 says, during your recent experience of purchasing the life insurance, please indicate your level of satisfaction. That's a pretty standard survey question.
Right.
I'd expect that on any survey, right?
Any survey.
Any survey. Tell us how happy you are. Very happy, not very. Sometimes they confuse me with the choices, though. Likely, not very likely, somewhat likely, neither likely nor
tough.
dislikely.
You
know what I mean? And then you're like, which one would be like,
right.
It's fine.
Correct. Who was your third grade best friend?
Right.
Was it Ryan? Was it Jared? I don't know who I like more. Like, these are too close. I don't use these words.
No.
Okay.
So that's question 1. Pretty standard survey question. Question 2, another one that's pretty standard, but I kind of like it. It says, how important is the company's mutual holding status? Which means the company's policyholders determine the direction of the company in your purchase decision.
Now, I wouldn't have known anything about this prior to understanding how important it is for a mutual company to stay mutual so I can participate in the growth.
Yep.
I can participate in the profits. I would have had no idea around that. So that's why we're trying to educate those of you out there who are already working with the Cash Compound and the Banking Bros to have your infinite banking policies. You want them to stay mutual. Very important.
You know what's funny about it? We hear a lot of times that when we do content, when we make YouTube videos, when we do podcasts, just like the one you're listening to, that people go, thank you so much for breaking it down and making it easy. You've heard that before?
Every week.
Right. But here's what's crazy. The company makes it pretty easy too. I mean, we at the beginning of this episode, we talked about the difference between stock companies and mutual companies, right? And then in this question, it says, how important is the company's mutual holding status? Which means the company's policyholders determine the direction of the company.
Extremely.
Like
that's my answer.
It seems pretty easy.
It's right there. And that's why we're here for it. We're the financial professionals. We'd love to be your virtual advisor wherever you are all across North America to help you understand this is important. This is why. This is how other companies determine things. This is where we don't succeed. So let's make sure that we keep a financial strong foundation. Help you, your communities, your family, your children, your senators know this is what we want. We want to be outside of the mainstream. The mainstream messed us all up.
Yep.
And we want to be doing things that have always been here that are solid. And we are the ones who carry the responsibility as the financial professionals for folks with these guaranteed products. We want to be the people who have the responsibility to help you.
Question number 3 is one of my favorites. It says, for what purpose or purposes did you buy life insurance from the company?
Yeah,
did you buy life insurance? And then it lists a bunch of options.
Okay, so here's the thing, everybody. Throw in the comments in the chat right now. What was life insurance to you before you knew about us? What was life insurance to your families, your parents? What was it for? What did it do? Because you can probably only think of one thing, maybe 2. But that's how many choices do we have here, Jonah?
11 different choices.
11 choices. Okay, but life insurance to me, especially when it was a temporary or term insurance policy, when I bought one from my buddy at school, after I got out, I was about 25 at that, maybe 24. I bought it for covering my butt and getting mom enough money to bury me and close out my estate.
That just so happens to be option 2 in the survey, to help provide for your family's needs after your death.
That was the only I was not married, wasn't seeing anybody, no kids, and I wanted to make sure I got locked in for guaranteed insurability, just in case I got sick or hurt later. I was going to at least make sure people were not crying because they were going to go broke trying to bury me.
There you go. Now that's option number 1, to help cover burial and other final expenses.
Boom.
These are the reasons that people get it. But here's
That's all I could have named. I'm not saying that with the other. I wouldn't even been able to name.
I agree. Here's where it gets fun, right?
Yeah.
Option 3. Okay, you ready? For what purpose did you buy life insurance? The insurance company would like to know if you bought life insurance as a way of saving money for retirement. That's a checkbox. It's the third checkbox. Now that to me is wildly crazy, because here's why. If you walk down the street in any town in America, any town, and you say, "Excuse me, sir, excuse me, ma'am, how are you saving for retirement?" No one says life insurance. No one. They say 401k. They say IRA. They say, just trying to save the money.
Index funds.
I've had people who
Mutual
literally
funds?
said it's at the house. It's in the coffee can. It's under the mattress. I've talked to people
I
like
had
that.
a lady 2 weeks ago. I hope she's listening, and I hope she doesn't reveal herself in these comments.
Okay.
I took my money out of the bank once I realized what you guys have said and other people who teach this.
Yep.
What they're doing.
Yep.
And they're circulating and cycling the money for profits. They lend it out for interest.
Yep.
I got so mad I took all of it out. It's in a box at home.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm sorry, what? But how do you... How,
Oh, no. But no, don't do that.
what do you... But I can steal
tough.
it.
Yeah,
it
that's
can be...
tough.
You can...
It
what
can
if there's a
rot.
fire?
It can literally rot.
How do you go to the grocery store?
No idea. Isn't that crazy, though? The insurance company wants to know as a way of saving money for retirement. Option 4, as a way of saving money for your children's educational expenses.
Hold on. So time out. If you are retirement, by the time I'm retired, my kids will be out of college. Okay? If my kids are in educational environments as primary students or as college students who need money, that literally means I'm using my life insurance throughout my middle age life.
Well, the website said you could.
I had no idea 10
that
years
crazy?
ago. I thought it was for funeral expenses and closing out my accounts.
Isn't that crazy? But if we get on the internet and we make a nice video for YouTube that says, use your life insurance to pay for your kids' college, all the comments are going to say, you can't do that. What is that? That's not real. Don't listen to those
You'll
guys.
mess up your policy.
Yeah. What in the world? They said you can do
that
They're
is
asking
stupid.
you, is that why you bought it? We'd like to know. So we can keep track. Who's using the policy for stuff, right?
Using the policy.
It's crazy. Okay. The next one is back to traditional life insurance to help pay off the mortgage after you die.
Right. So
Back to traditional life
mortgage
insurance.
protection is a theme, and people sell life insurance.
People
for
buy
that theme.
houses. You get a lot of letters in the
theme.
mail talking about mortgage protection. It's just life insurance, folks. That's all it is. Okay. We've got another one to sell the policy at a later date.
Wait, you mean that I can sell my life insurance, sell my mortality?
You can.
You can.
I've bought a few life insurance policies from other people in my day.
It's a thing.
Right? Hold on. How about this? For business purposes, key person, split dollar, partnership, stock redemption.
Hold on. You're saying I can own life insurance on other people, maybe not in my family?
You sure can. They're asking you, is that why you bought it? Business purposes. What about estate liquidity? Offset estate taxes, cover probate expenses.
Hold on. You're saying that I'm going to get a payout that's not going to be taxable so I can take care of all the other taxable things.
Yep. And they're saying that's an option. They have an option as an investment. Did you buy life insurance on purpose as an investment?
Now, that's going to bridge the gap between traditional whole life insurance and getting into probably universal life insurance right there. But it's an option.
Yep. What about this? This is a fun one. Did you buy your life insurance for the purpose of tax-deferred growth?
So you're saying that the dollars that go inside the life insurance grow, number one, and two, are not going to be taxed while they grow?
We are saying that, and so is the insurance company confirming it. And the very last one, are you saying that you bought the life insurance for the purpose as a charitable contribution?
Are you saying that my favorite charities can continue to receive money or a lump sum from me and my estate as a gift because I'm not here anymore? I can buy this to give them more money when I'm gone.
Isn't that crazy?
It's all in there.
It's all in there. That's
This
question
is
3.
from the top, folks. I got a physical paper here in my hand for those of you who can hear it. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that is really the brunt of the occasion. The reason we're here is we're trying to help you understand that there are a plethora of uses, and we're going to help you start utilizing your life, live your life insurance, as some of our friends out there might say. Today, we can start doing that by designing the right type from the right company for the purposes that mean the most to you. And we think banking and financing projects is the general term. Maybe specifically it's education for you.
Yep.
Maybe it's retirement for you. Maybe it's paying off some other debts or bills or offsetting your taxable income. It's all right here, and it's coming from the top. This is not a trick. This is not an IRS loophole. This is what life insurance has always done.
Yeah. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't at least talk about question 7. Question 7 is pretty fun. Question 7 says, in an effort to ensure that our policyholders understand the products and services they receive from the One America financial professionals, please indicate your level of awareness regarding the following life insurance product attributes. And it says there's a B for whole life insurance. That's what we help people with.
Okay.
It says, did your financial professional help you understand that life insurance offers living benefits in the form of cash values that can be used during your lifetime to pay for milestone moments?
We would like to know if your agent, who's not an employee of ours, that's why we put out the survey, we would like to know if they talk to you about all the options.
Right. And the way that now again, it's worded pretty generically, but the way that it comes across is your agent was supposed to tell you this.
Right. Potentially. Or, which agents talk about it.
Yeah.
Or
the way that it comes
do they communicate the full line of, it's like this. Did your Apple Store agent and your customer service rep, when you went to go pick up your phone, your Verizon person out there, your Samsung guy, did they explain to you and walk you through how you could use this phone? You already knew because it's called a phone, you could call people.
Right.
But there was a lot of apps in there. Which ones did they help you understand?
Yep. I like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just so interesting to me that this is literally on the survey. You're going to get this. If you're a customer of a mutually owned life insurance policy, if you're a customer of a mutually owned life insurance company, you're going to get, more than likely, a survey from them from time to time. You're going to get one. You're going to get invited to the meeting. You're going to get asked to vote by proxy on some things. You're going to get a survey. Now, again, some companies are going to send it in the mail like we've got here. Some are going to put it in your email. But I would implore you that when you get that, to read it.
Read some of them.
Read it.
Take a look.
Right.
And then, of course, right here, question number 8 to kind of close things down. Would you feel comfortable referring friends and family to your financial professional? Ladies and gentlemen, the insurance company is very aware. And if you call them, they're going to say, who do you work with? We'd like them to be good for you, better for you. We'd like to know who is educating their people. Isn't this all about education and the options that come with the guaranteed contractual products that you can buy from us? We're going to hold the risk for you at One America, at Northwestern, at Mass, whatever. And we'd like to know if your agent is communicating and educating. That's really what we're here for. A lot of people get nervous because they don't like to be sold, but we love to buy the right things. That's why we're here communicating and educating. If you need that conversation, remember the cash consultations by our coaches, that's us and several people who are agents on our team, are free. We're waiting for you to ask us all the great questions. We'll talk. If you don't ask too many questions, we'll give you some ideas that you might want to talk about. And we'll say, what's your next goal? What are you trying to avoid? What keeps you up at night? And what wakes you up in the morning? Those things can probably be handled with money. So let's make sure it's guaranteed for you to be there.
There you go. Before we give a shout out to our next episode, tell you a little bit about our next topic or maybe our previous topic. You can go back and listen to a few episodes that we've done before. We want to give a quick shout out to D. Fields. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Dwight Fields over there on YouTube. He's one of our latest subscribers, and we want to say thanks, Dwight. We appreciate you subscribing. We thank you for watching the videos. Now, generally when they subscribe, I think they start getting some notification bells if you when we post videos.
Make sure you do it, folks.
And so what I'm thinking is that possibly D Fields is going to get a notification bell when this episode comes out. And so he might realize that if he watches it, that we gave him a quick shout out. So a quick message to you, D Fields, leave us a comment, man. Give us a like on the video, ask a question, because we'd be more than happy to walk you through your specific questions. If you have not booked our cash consultation yet, then please do. It's a completely free and complimentary call where we'll walk you through your questions. We'll talk about policies. We'll show you some of our policies. We'll do anything that you need in order for you to feel more comfortable. It's no obligation, it's no pressure, but we'd love to talk to you.
On our last episode, Jonah, we talked about designing policies.
We did.
We talked about the engineering here, and we specifically jumped into one specific piece that helps people supercharge and get cash values that we talked about on this episode right away.
Yeah,
Tell us again, remind
it's
us.
Paid up edition. So if you didn't hear that episode, you should go back and watch it. Obviously, if you're listening to the podcast, it's probably a simple scroll to the last episode.
Right. It might be even a binge. You might be listening to it 10 minutes ago.
It might be a swipe left. You know what I mean?
Could be.
But of course, if you're on YouTube watching, you should go search that podcast episode. It's probably in our podcast playlist. It's going to be called PUA, Paid Up Editions. And we talk all about some of the different design inside of the policy in order to make it work for high early cash value, as opposed to just building cash value that takes a long time to get, right? So that was our last episode. We encourage you to go listen to that one, watch that one, so that way you can be more educated about the infinite banking concept.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Banking Bros podcast, make sure you also follow us on Facebook at Infinite Bankers. We've got a private group just for you. Our community asks questions and learns things inside that group on their way to financial freedom. If you want code cracking cash flow in your family, get a free cash consultation with one of our coaches soon.